You got a lot of people talking about the quarterback play at Florida State. That's why they're out of the playoff. But nobody's talking about the quarterback play over at Michigan and what J.J. McCarthy is, and more importantly, what he's not doing as they're headed into the playoffs.
I got a feel-good story for you. What else do you want the man to do? We're counting down the best plays. How do you define success?
George Wrighster.
I don't want to be the person that says, I told you so, but I did. I told you guys so. If you go back and look at the videos of the AP poll rankings and the college football playoff rankings that I've done for weeks throughout the season, the ACC was always going to get screwed if it came down to it. Always going to get screwed. Even though it had a 6-4 record in non-conference play versus the SEC this year. But they were like, oh man, this was a gauntlet. Well, FSU at 13-0 got left out after beating Louisville 16-6 in the ACC championship. Well, Jordan Travis, if Jordan Travis were in, they would have gotten in. That's a lie. That's a lie. Tate Rodemaker was out too. He'll be back for the bowl game. Brock Glenn came in. He only threw for 55 yards. What does that say about a team? That means their defense is lock it down. They were not pretty on offense, but it was dominant on defense. And everybody talking about Florida State and their quarterback play at 13-0, all while ignoring the last month of J.J. McCarthy from Michigan is wild. That is wild. J.J. McCarthy in the last month has thrown one touchdown pass, hasn't thrown for over 150 yards. What are we talking about? And we're sitting here acting like Florida State's quarterback play is just that insignificant, or them being without their quarterback is so significant that we can't even give them an opportunity to be in. They jumped through every hoop that they were supposed to, beat the two SEC teams that they play, including LSU, who is being propped up, and Alabama is getting the credit for that. Oh man, they beat a tough LSU team. So did Florida State. And what? And they beat them worse. And they won the conference championship with their QB3, and QB2 was going to be back for the bowl game. But we have seen this movie before. It happened in 2014 when TCU, who finished the season with 3 straight destructions, their only loss was to another top 10 team in Baylor. And then they went to the Big 12 championship and boat raced Iowa State. Boat raced. But then still got jumped by Ohio State. And the rationale for that was, well, Ohio State did play Oregon in the championship after beating Florida State, and they won it. See, look, the committee was right. But who's to say that TCU would not have won that championship as well? That's the important part. So Florida State is a team that at 13-0 getting left out. And remember, Florida State is a big brand, but it is not the same caliber of brand as the SEC is. Granted, the Big Ten has the biggest fan base and all of that. But the SEC, they are in control and being controlled by one of the biggest media conglomerates. And this is where I say the powers that be. The powers that be were not going to let the SEC get left out of that game. It wasn't going to happen.